All right, let's talk about something school got completely, totally wrong. I'm talking about failure. Today, we're going to flip the script on it and turn it from something you're supposed to fear into your most powerful tool for getting ahead.
Come on, you know that feeling, right? That horrible, sinking sensation in your stomach when you see a bad grade or you get that rejection letter. And for a second, it feels like your entire world is just collapsing. We've all been there, and there's a really good reason we feel that way.
For years and years, we were basically trained to fear this one thing, the big red X. In the school system, a mistake isn't just a chance to learn something new. Nope. It's treated like this huge deal, this mark of shame that makes you feel like you just torpedoed your whole future.
But, and this is a big but, here's the secret. The people who really achieve incredible things, the innovators, the creators, the game changers, they think about failure in the complete opposite way. It's a mindset that you will never find in a textbook. And honestly, understanding it can change everything for you.
So let's start by tackling the biggest hurdle of all, this myth that school built up around failure. We need to basically deprogram ourselves from everything we were taught about what it means to mess up. So look, it all boils down to this. On one hand, you've got the school mindset. When you fail, it becomes your identity. You think, I am a failure. But then on the other hand, you have the success mindset, which makes this tiny but critical distinction. It's not about who you are, it's about what you did. The thought is, my method failed. See the difference? That little word changes the entire game. Okay, so if the world's winners don't see themselves as failures, then what is their secret? How in the world do they bounce back from setbacks so fast? Well, this is the crucial part. They live and breathe this one simple phrase. It's like a shield for their confidence. The event, the attempt, that was a failure, but they are not. And here is the absolute best way to think about it. Imagine you're playing a video game and you get to a really tough boss battle. What happens when you lose? What's your gut reaction? You don't just throw the controller down and quit video games for the rest of your life, right? Of course not. You follow a really clear process. 1, you lose. 2, you analyze what went wrong. You think, okay, he has that spinning attack. I need to dodge left next time. 3, you change your tactics. And 4, you jump right back in and try again. That exact loop is how we should be treating life. Let's really hammer this point home because this is the foundation for this whole mental shift. Say it with me. Failure is an event, not a person. So instead of getting all bogged down in the sadness or the frustration, top performers see failure as pure feedback. It's just data. That's it. They learn to detach emotionally, look at the information, what worked, what didn't, and they use that data to plan a smarter next attempt. All right, so you've managed to separate failure from who you are. What's the next step? Well, it's this incredibly powerful idea called falling forward. Falling forward means you never actually go backward. Every single time you fail, every time you make a mistake, you learn something so important that it actually pushes you ahead. You might have stumbled, yeah, but you landed a few feet further down the road. And if you think this is just some nice-sounding theory, get this. J.K. Rowling's manuscript for Harry Potter was rejected by more than a dozen publishers. Think about that. Each one was a fall, but she just kept moving forward. And if you think that's a lot, Colonel Sanders was told no over 1,000 times before a single restaurant took a chance on his fried chicken recipe. Can you even imagine the mental toughness that takes? So why did they keep going? Why didn't they just quit? Because they understood this deep truth. Every rejection, every single failure, it's a lesson. It is the tuition you pay for the University of Life. And believe me, the lessons it teaches are worth more than any fancy degree. And oh my gosh, this is so important today. We're all scrolling through Instagram or TikTok, and we see everyone's biggest wins, their perfect vacations, their promotions, but we never ever see the thousands of failures it took to get there. You're comparing your messy, chaotic, real-life process to their polished highlight reel. It's not a fair fight, so just stop. So how do we actually put all this into practice in our own lives? It comes down to learning how to see pressure not as something that crushes us, but as something that creates us. You know that sting you feel when you fail, that frustration? You have a choice in that moment. You can let it be a handbrake that slams you to a stop, or you can turn it into high-octane rocket fuel that launches you forward with more power than you had before. And this brings me to the last and maybe the most powerful idea I want to share with you. Think about it from a science perspective. How are diamonds actually made? They're made from carbon that undergoes immense, crushing pressure over a very, very long time. So if you feel like life is squeezing you, if you feel pressure from all sides, congratulations. Seriously, it doesn't mean you're breaking. It means you're in the process of being transformed into something brilliant, something rare, and something incredibly valuable. So I'm going to leave you with this to think about. Look back at your own life for a minute. What is one failure you had that, looking back now, turned out to be one of your most valuable lessons? I have a feeling you'll realize you've been failing like a winner this whole time.